What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Week 7 Swolecast here on RotoGrinders.com. Socrdave here with three of my buddies. I'm not sure if you would call them fishing buddies or not. We've got Mr. Tuttle 05, we got Davis Mattek, and we've got Peter Overzet. Guys, how's it going?
Is this like a dime store Duck Duck Dynasty bit? Like, what's going on here, Dave?
I know where he's going with this, and I'm not happy about it.
Davis, where do you think I'm going with this?
This is a convoluted Davis and Peter are fish for fading Derrick Henry at 70 whatever hundred on DraftKings bit.
No, I'm actually joining you guys and going fishing this week for the fish that are out there. Okay.
I still don't know what this bit is.
I think Davis nailed it.
It's my fishing outfit.
I get that.
All right.
What is the reference, Dave?
Okay. The reference is to a tout that's out there that after Derrick Henry's 260 yards,
okay.
He said, like after the 260 yards, he said, "Congratulations to all you fish out there who played Henry this week."
What I would say to you, Kitchen, is you just got to fade the noise, man. There's a lot of noise out there, and you just got to fade it.
To be fair, Nate Noling had that take on the Guildcast too, right?
Oh, man. But we did not let him get away. He did not escape that segment unscathed. We let him have it.
He said that like if you faded or if you played Henry, you were a fish.
Yeah, Noling said that.
He compared me playing Jonathan Taylor at 6,400 to playing Derrick Henry. And let me tell you, one of those plays was bad. One of them was good. And both of the people got what they deserved when they made that play.
Well, can we also say Noling's talking about it in cash, right? And
right.
I think this other individual was talking about tournaments.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say the guy's name. Like, I mean, we don't want to shame Schmelly at Schmeist. So we want to just say, I just want to say though, if a running back goes for 260 yards and then you say, if you played him, you were a fish, well, then stick to it. Stick to the tape.
That's the thing. If you're going to tweet, it's a fish play. If you're going to come out there, you can't relent. Let me tell you, just don't relent. Don't say that you were wrong. Just be like, everyone else is wrong. I'm the best.
Nico
right.
Hardman was the nuts on Monday night. You can't tell me differently.
If you look at the ownership percentages, Demarcus Robinson was the worst play because he was owned the same amount and projected for way less.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, Elliot. That's how you do it.
So if you're going to put it out there, don't delete the tweet afterwards. That's all I'm saying. And if you're going to, this also happened this past week, but if you're going to post screenshots, then don't block people who reply to the screenshots. It's a give and take relationship.
Oh, did you get blocked?
No, I didn't. No, but
Okay.
Some other people did that, replied back. So anyways, it's all fun. Especially if you roster Derrick Henry last week. There was only one person in the Swolecast Listener League that cashed all three entries. You want to take a guess?
Would not have been me on FanDuel. I didn't cash one entry in any contest.
It's probably somebody too lazy to not dupe their lineup, would be my guess. So I think Kitchen is probably Kitchen, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Did you run a train in the Swolecast Listener League?
I changed one of the entries last second, but I forgot that I had it due. I forgot, like I only had one lineup made. So then I made another one. Peter, I saw you cashed a lineup though. Was that your DeAndre Swift and Derrick Henry lineup?
I was the only person in the industry to tout DeAndre Swift. I did not play him, but never forget that I touted him. Yeah, no, I did cash in there. The apologies to everyone who ran the Hudson River lineup. That didn't seem to get there.
Hey, Hudson ran 2 routes though.
How many routes did Hudson run?
Dose.
Two. Literally 2. Yeah.
But he's a big play guy. All he needs is 2 routes, and he can really make some noise with those. No, apparently Gronk's a thing now. It's news to me, but Gronk is a thing.
Yeah, I know. We got to It's a forward-thinking show. It's a forward-thinking show, though. So we're going to focus primarily on week 7. Do want to say we've got some fun things to announce. We'll have the links. Peter, what?
There's a guy in the chat who said
who is
we
this
need to
guy?
hit the weights. Like, I mean, me of all people.
Take off your shirt. Take off your shirt.
No.
Oh gosh.
Don't. We're not this
Take it
show.
off.
Kitchen, taking it up.
Oh no.
Oh gosh, Kitchen, take off your shirt. Oh man. The unbutton. Oh.
I'm just gonna leave it like this. This is how we do it when we're fly fishing out in the creek.
The wizard got to see my abs. Now show us yours. Send it to me on Twitter, Wizard. We want to see your hot bod, brother.
I wanted to take bets on how big David's areolas are. Do
Oh.
we think like
All right, we do not need to go in this direction. I just will say that I did hit the weights at Planet Fitness before this. Back and buys, back obviously because I knew I'd be carrying this show like usual. Anyways, Listener League this week. You guys wanted to make it bigger. Well, it got bigger. 1,000 entries this week, and if you don't think that it was or if you think of playing Derrick Henry last week was a fish play, well, if you didn't play in the Listener League, it's a fish play because it's 1,000 entries. It's rake free, top 20%, 3 max entry. Plus, you've got some lineups in there that have Hudson and whoever else we played last week. Irv Smith, Royce Freeman. Davis had a Royce Freeman take. So
no, you just had to play a Freeman.
Oh, yeah. Or Devonta. So that should be fun. We also have a free roll where we've got our Swolecast RG badge. The only Tuttle I have right now. So it's an RG badge with the Swolecast design on it. We've got a free roll. Top 5 get RG packages. You can enter 150 lineups on this. So
150 max free roll.
Yeah, it's 150 max free roll.
I
Get
hope
in
a train
there.
takes down first through.
I mean, imagine not hustling for the 150 max free roll.
Yeah. So you either have to have an RG badge for this free roll, or the top 5 also get top 5 Swolecast RG badges also get something. So that's a promotion I like. Also like and subscribe for this channel, this podcast, everything else. If you are just now tuning in, you say they haven't got to football yet. Welcome to the show. That's how it is. If you want the football takes, just fast forward to like the 30-minute mark.
No. Just as David said, we do not back down. This show is for crushers. We give out the plays. We have a higher combined ROI and DFS contest than literally any other DFS show out there.
I mean, these are facts only.
Come on.
These are the facts.
If you just stumbled on this from recommended videos on YouTube, you are in the right place. This is where you come to win.
So a couple of people that we need to thank. First of all, the real Ricky D, who won $1 million this past week.
He sent maybe the most disingenuous tweet ever.
No, he said...
He said, thanks to other sites for touting McCole Hardman, and he only had like 6% less than the field of McCole Hardman.
He still won $1 million.
Yeah, but he sent a shitty tweet, so he loses.
He said,
"Yeah, the sharp move was the Zeke fade. He
yeah,
just completely
tout
faded
that,
Zeke.
bro.
Yeah, that was good.
Well, anyways, the point is, the guy that won the $1 million sent out a tweet and said, the Swolecast is the GOAT podcast. Yada, yada, yada. I never miss an episode.
Did he actually tweet that?
He actually tweeted that.
Yep. There were a few words in between.
Yeah, we won't say the part where he said, only problem is it doesn't contribute to me winning ever. But anyways, he did say that. So shout out to him.
And I think what he said is the Swolecast is what gets his mind wrong every week, and then some other site gets his mind right on Sundays.
Well, we're here for it. It's a Wednesday show, but it's a good primer show for everyone that is out there. Let's talk about this week. Let's talk about this week because it's an interesting week, Davis. What's your thoughts on this week?
Well, after going into last week, like pretty much feeling like I was just going to lose money because my plan was I'm going to stack terrible Aaron Rodgers and terrible Tom Brady and hope that game gets there. It did not get there. I think we actually have, some very great games to stack. I think that we have Seattle, Arizona. I think that Houston, Green Bay, because both of those defenses are really bad. Seems pretty interesting. I think Carolina, New Orleans can be good. And I think that the Dallas, Washington football team game is pretty good as well. It just seems like there's a lot more good plays than there were last week.
Yeah, that Green Bay Houston game is going to be
terrible.
Fun. It's going to be fun. The upcoming game. Tuttle, what's your take on this week?
I mean, it basically mirrors what Davis said. Lots of games with high team totals. I think you almost have to pick which game you want to go underweight on because you're going to be too spread thin just because there are so many good games. Detroit, Atlanta thrown in there as well. If you're looking at from like a pace perspective, that Green Bay Texans game could actually underwhelm. I was actually tilting because I did stack that Green Bay Tampa Bay game last week. And when things were looking decent, when Green Bay was up 10-0 and it looked like, we were going to have the Tom Brady game script to throw from behind, Green Bay milks the clock, man. He was snapping the ball. Rodgers was snapping the ball with 1 second left every play.
It's because they know they're underdogs in all these games because they have a trash quarterback. They got to try and minimize the amount of possessions.
But I do think that's the game that's going to be highest owned, that has the highest bust potential, because that's the game that I was gravitating to right away too. That's the game where Devontae Adams stands out, Aaron Jones. Like, they're both teams with highly concentrated offenses, which is just perfect for DFS because you know where the ball is going to go. But it'll be interesting. I'm not sure I'm going to take an underweight stance on that, but that's the one that I think stands out from a pace perspective that could disappoint.
Peter?
Makes sense.
I think this is a martingale week for me. Just bombed hard last week. I think I just jam in all the same guys again. Aaron Jones, Chris Godwin, Kareem Hunt, dare I say Juju Smith-Schuster. Let's just run it back.
No, too far.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone else I'm on board with.
Played Cam Newton last week. That was one of the more tilting experiences of my life watching that Denver-New England game. I mean, the amount of weapons that Cam Newton has at his disposal is zero. And it's not fun.
How dare you talk about N'Keal Harry that way?
I'm done. I'm done with Harry, dude. I'm so
done.
Your
Your mother-in-law made you admit that he sucked. How was that as a moment?
It's gonna be a great Thanksgiving.
Oh man, did you guys fade Claypool last week?
Yeah, remember we're fish.
I did.
I didn't. No,
you guys both played Claypool. Fish.
I mean, he's freaking Calvin Johnson, dude. Like, I'm not fading that guy.
I did say before lineups lock on the Grinders live show last week, or Crunch Time show leading up to lock, that any other week we would probably just play Justin Jefferson over Chase Claypool on FanDuel, where there was only a $400 difference.
Ooh.
Probably should have done that one. Blender in chat did that one. He made a lot of money off of that one.
I was gonna say, shout out to Blender, who is in the chat. He said that
he got the take cast bump.
He said he was getting trolled. But yeah, Blender crushed it last week. So man, I'm glad this show is just contributing and just helping people, really.
A lot of friends of the show crushing. Blender,
Crane?
CSU Ram, and Crane all had really big weeks.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah, they just played the best plays.
I found myself on a Friday night watching the lineup construct. What did you do? A live draft? Is a best ball underdog draft you guys were doing
on Friday?
Where we declared Christian Kirk dead.
Yeah,
you did, and I told you to walk that take back until after they played the Cowboys.
2 targets, 2 touchdowns. You love to see it.
Was that all? I didn't even see that. As Kirk only had 2. Well, I guess they only threw the ball 24
Anyways,
times,
Dave, you were
still.
plugging my YouTube channel. What were you saying?
Yeah, that's it. It was it was fun, but Pat, knowing that he was giving off the like quintessential like Brooklyn vibe that
so much. Yeah.
That's
And
his
then
thing, dude.
And then he ships it. So
he is the
congrats
best.
again.
I love Pat Kerrane.
He's a great
The dude
guy.
literally goes to speakeasies and buys this just ridiculously hipster alcohol and then just holds it over our heads. You know, whenever I drink a Coors Light and he's just scoffing at it, it's really unfortunate.
That's what hipsters do.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get on to it. Talk about quarterbacks a little bit. As far as specific quarterbacks that you're looking at targeting, you mentioned about not being spread too thin, Tuttle. What's your group looking like this week?
Yeah, I mean, you're still. I already kind of Dan Pan. Shout out to Dan Bach. Some of that Texans Green Bay game, but I kind of think that's probably where you're looking on FanDuel specifically with Deshaun Watson. Comes in at that nice middling price point at $8K. He's gonna be tough. I mean, not tough to fade. It's quarterback, but he's one of the stronger plays. Matthew Stafford's still cheap on FanDuel as well. I believe he's 7,300 there. So he's coming up as another option as a potential FanDuel cash game play. FanDuel's a little bit more difficult. A guy I know I will not be playing, but whose price sticks out like a sore thumb is Drew Brees, 6,100. He is like staring you in the face when you're building these lineups.
Gets Michael Thomas back this week?
Yeah, gets Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is cheap. So they're very easy.
Not staring me in the face. Just putting it out there. No.
When I was scrolling through, I mean, if you look at DR projections right now, he's staring.
Oh, don't talk to me about this. This is the constant battle of my life. Is like I can't just make every player who's too old for me terrible in the projections, but it doesn't mean I have to play.
You're out on Michael Thomas?
No, I'm out on Drew Brees.
No, Drew Brees.
Okay, I was like, that's a crazy take.
I am out on him too, but 6,100 is still cheap.
Please.
But otherwise, Watson 6,800 on DraftKings too.
Thomas's new name is Slants Thomas, by the way.
Was that ever corroborated? Like, no, I saw the Slant Boy. The Slant Boy. Was that real? I thought that was from like a fake account.
I don't know if it's real or not, but it is actually the funniest thing that's happened this year. Good. It's like it brings me infinite joy to think of someone to his face calling him Slant Boy.
It's like the equivalent of like everyone in the locker room calling Cole Beasley PPR boy or something like as an insult.
Well, what is if Michael Thomas is Slant Boy, what does that make DJ Moore? Like
Whopper Boy.
All right. You got the Watson and Rodgers going up against each other. Our highest total of the week as far as over-under goes. Right next to that, the Ryan Stafford game. And then Kyler and Russell Wilson. By the way, there's 4 afternoon games this week. So
yeah, you love to see that.
Oh, so
4 feels like
you can't get to Russ though.
After 2.
On DraftKings, it's so hard.
Yeah, you can. And I will be. That's like I'm just going to be making all sorts of disgusting plays this week to make Seattle, Arizona stacks work. Like that is I'm all in on trying to make that work. I don't care if I have to play Albert O. Kuibunum.
Albert Okuebunam.
Okuibunam. I mean, I'll obviously be loaded up on Deontay Johnson. I think unfortunately. I think we actually are going to have to play Kenyon Drake this week, and it's not going to end well.
You're playing.
I got Sammy Reed literally chirping at me right now about having to play Kenyon Drake in cash.
Hey, Kitchen, you get a load of this guy. This guy right here says he's going to play Kenyon Drake this week. This goddamn fish.
I mean, he is
a bad play. Just if you go look at his workload in like wherever you do it at, his expected points and everything, the exact same last week that it's been. Every other week, he just scored a 1-yard touchdown and then a long touchdown in garbage time.
And that long touchdown, he was in the game when Chase Edmonds should have been in the game. But my hypothesis is that they were trying to get him to 100 yards. And he had 95 yards and then just broke that long touchdown that just shifted everything. But I think it's going to go back to the Edmonds-Drake split, timeshare that they had before last week. But
there wasn't. That's the thing. Like, Drake's role literally hasn't changed at all this season. It's been the exact same.
Every game, the exact thing.
But if you look at percentage of the touches, last game he had more of a percentage than the previous weeks as far as
because Edmonds
they were
winning.
up 30 points.
Right.
Yeah.
Game's great.
Edmonds is the guy that's actually getting the targets when he's on the field. So if you think if you think Arizona's going to be playing from behind, you can make the case that Edmonds is the guy.
Hey, Devin, are you keeping track with the show jumping topics here as we bounce to running back, go back to quarterback?
Yes. We also had you guys didn't mention Teddy Bridgewater, and like one
would rather play him than Breeze. I'll say that.
He's playing his old team. He wants to make sure. I mean, I don't think it's a revenge thing, but he wants to show gratitude for him being under the Saints tutelage for the past few years. And then the undefeated game with Roethlisberger and Tannehill. That should be fun as well. Let's talk about Cam Newton, though.
Ugh. I think the brutal thing about playing him is that it actually makes winning harder because you have to make other decisions in your lineup. Like, you can't just blindly stack him. And to be honest, that just makes DFS more complicated than it needs to be, in my professional opinion.
That's a astute point there by Davis. Actually, I wasn't expecting that.
See, I've spun zone that in other ways though, because there's so many plays I want to often get in that the game stacks eliminate the number of things you can do, and then you're like, shit, I only have spots for 2 guys because I just put 5 guys from this game in.
Well, if you really wanted to gal brain, and I actually think that this is kind of like the next wave of thing that people are going to be touting, is doing the correlated one-off, the correlated running back, wide receiver, running back defense, wide receiver, with the rush first quarterback like Cam, like Josh Allen, where you like, okay, I'm going to game stack Carolina, New Orleans, but I'm going to use Cam at quarterback instead of Teddy or Breeze because I think that Cam can get up 30, can get 31 or whatever.
Well, that's what we ended up doing a little bit in our lineups last week with the Green Bay game stack, because those guys were so expensive that it was hard to go heavy on that game and use Rodgers. So then you put Cam in, and that worked out just wonderfully.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Here's the thing, though. Like, Cam was trash last week, just trash, and he still put up 20.
Still got 20 something. Yeah,
I couldn't believe that.
I saw one of the grinders, film grinders, saying that he hurt his hand in the third quarter because they show him like shaking out his hand, and that he had some pretty bad throws after that. He seems fine now, but there's a wide receiver that you could possibly pair him with, who's really cheap on DK. We'll talk about that later.
The wind sprinter.
We'll talk about that later.
Why we're on quarterbacks, I know it's early, Tuttle, is anyone going to project for over 10 percentage points of ownership?
Probably not. I mean, I think Stafford's probably going to project the highest just because of the price point. I think people will still want to play Russell Wilson.
Let me tell you, don't do it. As someone who played Matthew Stafford last week, just don't.
Oh, he got in the worst game script possible right off the bat. It was bad.
And they scored, like, Kenny Galladay got touchdown at the 1, and it turned into a DeAndre Swift.
The fact that Galladay even got there and got the 100-yard bonus was a miracle last week. No, I don't think so. I mean, at the very most, you'll probably see like the 11 to 13% range, maybe.
I love our chat. We have a Kenyon Drake argument breaking out to the point where people are challenging each other to head-to-heads on DraftKings.
heads up for Drake rolls, bro.
If you're watching this later, just leave us a nice little comment, your terrible take, and also make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. That would be really beneficial to us. Now, let's get to some DraftKings roster construction. We're just gonna go with the game stat. I was gonna say we're gonna let Blender choose. We'll let Blender choose.
No, that's not fun, bro. Blender doesn't want to have fun. Blender wants to make us.
He's an ideological tout.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Drew Brees, bro. It's the total. It's the dome. I just don't want it.
Dude, how many How many lineups out of 100 is Michael Thomas going to be in the blitz projections?
110.
200,
Yeah.
200 out of 100.
Cardi has a 300 thread tweet lined up about how people have forgotten about Michael Thomas in the dome.
Just waiting to click send.
All right. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Davis, you get first crack at today.
DK Metcalf. The real wide receiver one in Seattle.
All right, Tuttle.
200. Wow, he's expensive. I'm going to eat a little bit of chalk here, but I think he is my favorite point per dollar running back play on the slate.
Kenyon Drake.
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Oh, Tuttle is so chalky this year.
I know.
Maybe that's why everyone's winning, because Tuttle just is.
What I mean,
all the plays.
Are the hand builders going to be off of him though? They're going to go click on him on DraftKings. They're going to see he had the bad game, only 3 targets.
I don't know. Peter, you're up.
Yeah, I'm at a crossroads because I was going to do Tyler Lockett. And now I'm wondering, are we going to go with the double stack, or are we just this is a cash game lineup, right?
No, of course, yeah.
Always cash.
I love that game. I love it. Let's do it. Let's do Lockett. Let's just set it up for the double stack.
We got to pick Russ. Just put Russ in there already.
Yep.
Then.
Well, or do we want to do Kyler and do Kirk, Dan Arnold?
Sell me on Dan Arnold.
No.
Didn't he have 0 targets last week?
I mean, it's a matter of the state of mind, bro.
It's the Tanner Hudson, our generation's Tanner Hudson.
Well, no. I mean, the targets are going to look all out of whack for everyone on Arizona. The last 2 weeks, they beat the Jets 30-10. They beat the Cowboys 38-10. And honestly, that flatters Dallas, that final scoreline. Arnold played 42% of the snaps. He had he was more involved than Daniels at the beginning of the year. And we know that he's more of a receiver in general than Daniels. And also my big thing is the tight end position is so terrible. I just like filling in those spots where you're literally getting dudes projected for 8 points as parts of the game stack.
Okay.
Plus you went to UW Platteville.
Plus you went to UW Platteville.
Can I make a small note? Not for this lineup.
So does that mean
that was not official? That was just my proposition.
I'm not playing Dan Arnold, but
okay. So we're going Russ then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I make a small note with the Kareem Hunt thing?
Sure.
If you want to stack that game, Joe Burrow is freaking dirt cheap on DraftKings, and I actually think Cleveland kind of rolls in this spot, but if you want to stack that game, that's one of the cheaper games you can stack reasonably.
Hang on, I need to do something. There's this guy in the chat, Todd Wilson, just absolutely tilting his face off about Kenyon Drake, okay? Here's the deal. He had 1 long touchdown run at the end of garbage time, boosting his efficiency numbers. He's priced all the way down at 4,800. He's not even in the top 30 point per dollar plays on the blitz. He's losing all of the high value touches to Chase Edmonds. Go home. Kenyon Drake is a bad play.
He's not a bad play. That was a good rant, but he's not a bad play.
I stand by it. Davis told me to never back down.
Never back down, dude. Never, ever back down.
Call him a fish.
I mean,
This guy in the chat wants to play Kenyon Drake coming off one of his best games of the season. I mean, that's fish material if I've ever seen it. Gosh damn.
Box score watcher. All right. Let's go with the guy that ran 55 out of 57 routes in the game last week against the Broncos. Peter, can you give me a bird call?
Wow, we are wind sprinting, baby.
That sounds a lot like the duck call.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance. The real ones can tell the difference between those.
So Demir Bird, we do have to save on some salary. He's 30.
Yeah, we gotta play Kirk and flex now.
Tell me who's in this lineup so far. I mean, we've done so many tangents, myself included. I
think it's the fact that you're paying too much attention to the chat. They got
Russ,
game.
Hunt, Metcalf, Lockett, Bird, Kirk. We have running back, tight end, and defense to still select.
Got it.
All right. So we got running back, tight end, defense. Tuttle, you're up.
Man, let's plug a defense in here real quick just to see what.
If you play like the Jets at the minimum, you're left with $53.50 per player.
Ooh. Do we have a punt D or a tight end de jour this week?
Oh man, tight end.
I mean, I know who you guys want as the punt. tight end.
Alberto.
Davis, we can't.
Six targets on 24
Fant
snaps,
was
bro.
out. Noah Fant didn't play. He's coming back.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
You're not God, Peter. You don't know.
Well, Logan Thomas is 3,500. Hooper's 4K. Hunter Henry's 4.5K.
Man, Baker Mayfield
still
loves himself some Austin Hooper these days.
Let's this is a cash game lineup, right?
Oh boy.
Yeah, the old double stack cash game lineup. Let's do it.
All right, we may not get Le'Veon Bell week until week 8. So let's go Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Matchup's not great. It's only 6,100 though.
He stays silent like the H in Helaire.
Yeah. A lot of these Chiefs guys are underpriced. I actually like Tyreek Hill a lot better for tournaments, but we don't have a wide receiver spot.
We need when we get to wide receiver, we need Devin to pull up the shit, here we go meme for my 45-second diatribe on McCole Hardman.
Kitchen Nation is calling for Ferkser in the chat. I've seen 100 Ferkser mentions.
He did lead PFF last week. Tannehill, Henry, and Ferkser all led the PFF grades at their positions last week. So you can't play all the Titans. They're going to regress. They can't score all the touchdowns.
You could have just done your Davis Mattek impression there instead.
That was the chat take early Sunday morning. I don't want 3 Titans in our lineup.
Well, it's
man.
That had
the four Titan lineup, you would have swept everything.
I did play 4 Titan lineup last week. Did not sweep everything because Jonnu Smith got hurt. But
that's on you for not playing Ferk, bro.
Also, the week before that, it was the Panthers. You can't play 3 Panthers. They did find
I love it. You can't play 3 Panthers. Are you just going to turn into Paula Dean for the rest of the episode?
I used to have an alternate personality named Butch that I would call into the sports radio shows as a Tennessee Vols fan and late night sports when I was on the ride home. We might have to bring Butch back at some point. All right. If you go Hooper and then you're left with a 2,600 D, but you can go Hooper.
The Washington football team defense with an actually good pass rush against that Dallas O-line.
If you use an optimizer to build your lineups this week, you are going to get absolutely loaded with the Washington football team defense.
Yeah. And if you went Ferkser, if Jonnu Smith does not play, then Ferkser is absolutely in play. But if you went them and the Washington football team, then you could actually upgrade your running back if you're not wanting to play Helaire to Aaron Jones.
If Bell doesn't play, isn't Helaire the sickest play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Bell is going to play, though.
I don't think Helaire will be chalk, even if Bell doesn't play. The matchup's not there for it. No, the matchup's not there. You have Kamara, you have Aaron Jones.
People have already written him off in their heads, too.
Yeah, they're going to see no touchdown. Yeah, he's not going to be chalk. Hilaire's not.
All right, let's talk about running backs. You've got some of the stud running backs. Peter, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on Derrick Henry?
If you take away all of his long runs and touchdowns, he was a pretty bad play.
What was your reaction?
If you take away overtime, he only had 30.
What was your reaction when he just took off for that 94-yard? Live, what was your live reaction to that?
In your head, Kitchen or me and David just over here shouting into our pillow and punching holes in drywall when Derrick Henry does.
Honestly though,
I knew Davis was.
Well, also, I didn't play Derrick Henry in cash, so I knew that I was just getting absolutely owned by everyone who did. But I even tweeted, I said, just knowing that David Kitchen is happy right now is ruining my day.
You know what was crazy for me, Kitchen? I was watching that game and I'm like, this Titans offensive line is so good. I'm like, am I seeing this? Does Jeremy McNichols have a bigger yards per carry than Derrick Henry this game? I'm really impressed with that offensive line, Dave.
I know. I read a newsletter that mentioned that this past week, and they also mentioned D. Hember, which I appreciated as well. So Derrick Henry on DraftKings, on FanDuel, he is a little bit expensive, but on DraftKings, is he matchup proof? Is he only are you not even playing it in GPP?
Well, I was talking about this with Peter yesterday, and I said that actually the Sharps can just play Derrick Henry this week and feel great about it because he is not going to project nearly as strong. He's not going to be as many vanilla optimals. And the thesis behind the play is that the hand builders are going to see the red 2 DVP on DraftKings and not want to play him as much.
Yeah. He does not have a good matchup. You have Kamara now with Michael Thomas back. You have Aaron Jones. Kareem Hunt is going to be chalk this week. Let's just pencil him in. He's the free square. Who is the next best running back for you this week, Tuttle?
Probably Mike Davis, 6,600, too cheap. People might be a little bit scared off after last week. Last week was a tough matchup. Still saw majority of the backfield work there, vast majority. He's locked into a good pass catching role too. I think he's just too cheap for his price on DraftKings specifically. I think it gets the bigger question is after those two, are you going to, who you're going to flex as your third RB? I think people are going to flock to Alvin Kamara at 7,900, but it's a tough spot for me to know if, does Michael Thomas coming back, does that take enough away from Kamara in the passing work that you don't really want to play Kamara this week? I think it's tough.
I moved Alvin Kamara to 18% market share of targets, down from 25 with MT back, and he is still in all of our top optimals. So I think he's so safe because, as the haters have noticed, Drew Brees, it's very hard for him to get the ball down the field these days. So I think those automatic 4-yard screens to Kamara are just that's just part of their offense, MT or not.
I do think this is though, Kamara versus these top end receivers. Who do you like more? Are you automatically jamming in a QB or a wide running back this week in the flex? We have Michael Thomas, Devonta Adams, and DeAndre Hopkins. We don't get that very often. And
the grown man. I think that Metcalf deserves to be in these conversations, to be honest.
Can't do it.
He's not, he doesn't get the volume to be in that conversation.
Right. He's going to score 16 touchdowns this year.
Yeah. And 3 of them are going to be in one game.
This game.
Can't believe Davis doesn't know he's going up against Patrick Peterson this week.
There's no way Patrick Peterson is still good.
The Cardinals corners have been good.
Oh, I do think Patrick Peterson was at least.
All right, let's go. Let's get Kitchen weigh in.
Look, one of us read Mike Clay's wide receiver cornerback matchup report this morning. So if you want to go after Mike Clay, don't shoot the middleman.
Let's see, Patrick Peterson. I have his. It's not great for him
on PFF.
PFF, yeah.
Let's do lot and things. Where do we think that Kitchen thinks Patrick Peterson is graded amongst cornerbacks by PFF?
I don't think it's good because I read in, I think both our grind down and Silva's matchup that you could kind of pick on him last week in that 2-gamer. So I don't think it's good.
Patrick
I got
Peterson,
the number here. 94th out of 121 qualified cornerbacks.
131 for total grade, not just pass coverage.
The Cardinals have allowed the 11th fewest fantasy points to wide receivers, including the 3rd fewest on the perimeter this season.
Yeah, Cards defense as a whole has stood up pretty well.
They also got that game was so weird.
Well, first off, they played the Jets. So that's going to bring all their totals down because they played the Jets, and they played the Washington football team, and they played the 49ers, who don't use their wide receivers at all. So all of that tracks for me.
And they also played, that game versus Dallas, they had 2 Zeke fumbles. And then you had
I literally cannot speak about Ezekiel Elliott.
An obvious DPI that was turned into interception, and then you also had Gallup drop a wide open touchdown in the end zone. They got kind of lucky last week. Anyways,
I just want to just put a bow on this. I like both of them, but price, ownership, everything adjusted. Give me Lockett this week.
Okay. Anyways, we're still talking about running back. We're still talking about running back.
Send me a head-to-head.
Peter.
Okay, I will.
Peter, I do want to get your take on DeAndre Swift because projections do not have him doing very much this week against the Falcons.
Yeah, because he was still in a three-way committee. When they are using him, they're getting him the ball. He had 28% target per route run, but he only played 38% of the snaps. We just have to hope and pray after this game that they continue to increase his role. But based solely on role, it's like I would be talking out of both sides of my mouth if I said Kenyon Drake was a bad play, but DeAndre Swift was a good one. So
even in his role.
Three ways are really fun in theory, but it's very hard to live up to expectations.
Sounds like, is this coming from experience, Tuttle?
Especially when one of them is Adrian Peterson.
So you've got Jerick McKinnon also, who no one's talking about right now.
He is a great play.
I mean, no one's talking about him or Swift right now. And I don't know if that'll change by the end of the week, but.
Well, the difference between him and Swift is, again, McKinnon's actually going to have the workload.
Yeah. I think with Swift, the reason why you play him is because you are anticipating them giving Swift more of a workload after last week. I mean, it's hard to keep the reins on him when he did what he did last week. But if anyone's going to do it, I guess it's the Lions.
It's not really that hard. J.K. Dobbins had 2 touchdowns for the Ravens the first week of the season. We haven't seen him since.
Right.
Pat was sending me blurbs from The Athletic this morning about the beat writers thinking JaMychal Hasty is going to carry most of the load this week.
I was actually wondering if people were touting JaMychal Hasty yet.
What does Pat think about Antonio Gibson this week?
I don't know. Why don't we get him on the show and ask? Do you want my take, or do you want my sharper co-host take? I mean, this is what you're left with.
The news grinders are bullish on him, but his workload has gone the wrong way every week.
On FanDuel, he is 5,700 this week.
I've already done that once this year, and I don't need to do it again.
Well, you did it when it wasn't necessary. I mean, it's probably still not necessary.
I tried to do it last week. It did not work out very well.
All right. Now let's go into wide receivers. You got to pick one. You have to pick one alpha wide receiver to play. Who is it, Peter?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Why do you say
Pete's right. It's Hopkins.
Well, I think you're going to get similar targets for those guys. I guess there's a little uncertainty with Michael Thomas coming back from injury, but I just love that game environment. There's like one team now that we can count on to just send these games to just fantasy stratosphere, and it's the Seahawks. So give me the best player on the other side in that game.
I think I do agree with you on Hopkins, but also because it felt like watching that game on Monday that there's a little bit of a squeaky wheel there, which is why they got him the ball late in the fourth quarter. But I think they're going to try to get him the ball more, like just
Kitchen playing armchair psychologist with these teams is just great. It's like he's in the mind of Cliff Kingsbury. It's like Cliff is on the show.
No, the reason that we can actually buy this take from Kitchen is because what quarter does he watch more than any quarter in football?
It's
showdown, fourth quarter, flash draft specialist. He has his eyes on every single bit of minutia.
It's really
when he goes to grind the all 22, he just watches teams in the fourth quarter. And that's it.
Here's where you're wrong. The third quarter is the quarter I pay the most attention to. Because you have to know what's happening in the fourth quarter. That's what happens. Peter, what was your experience like grinding those flash drafts?
So I was even too embarrassed to put this on Twitter, but this is such a safe space. But I tried to get in like 4 and I only completed one of them successfully. I got timed out the 3 other times, but DraftKings luckily refunds you when you miss a pick.
Yeah, the first time they won't do that. You can't do it like whatever.
Oh, really? They keep refunding me. They must have the fish setting next to my account trying to keep me in the ecosystem.
How do you not pick a player?
Because I'm trying to get the flash draft up on my Wing phone to take a picture for Twitter. And then I get timed out.
All right.
Is the Wing phone going to make an appearance this week?
Sure. I mean, anytime here. I also learned that Nate Burleson is my Wing phone Eskimo brother. He received one as well. So I'm in good company. You know, 2 shows that have massive outreach, Football in America, that show.
Good Morning Football. Yeah.
Not
and the Swolecast. So LG knows how to get the marketing out there.
They know the influencers.
Kitchen freezing.
All right, Tuttle, are you Devontae Adams or Hopkins?
I'm Hopkins. I'm actually really intrigued right now how ownership's going to shake out between these top 3, though, because I think projections. And we know the blitz is going to pump Michael Thomas as number 1, and I think he's going to project the best out of them, and he's the cheapest. So I'm interested to see how ownership comes out on these guys, because I think it's kind of crazy. We have the consensus that it's DeAndre Hopkins here. But it'll be interesting to see how ownership shakes out between Hopkins and Michael Thomas.
I have them all. I have Adams 0.03 points better than Hopkins, and then I have Thomas 0.6 points better. Like they're all projected within 21 to 21.5.
I was going to mention that. Like, we're not talking about Adams here, but that is the highest over under of the slate.
That's the fish game. The sharps are on the Battle of the Birds.
So if I play either Hopkins or Thomas and Adams goes off, can I then tweet out that congratulations to you fish that played Devontae Adams?
No.
That's between you and your God, David. Whatever you want to do, man.
All right. What are some other wide receivers that you guys like? FanDuel, there's that mid-tier of wide receivers that just seems like you can play whoever, as long as it fits that. Who are some receivers that you're looking at this week, Davis?
Well, Julio's back, so that's interesting that they targeted him in the red zone. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I think that, obviously Will Fuller in that Green Bay matchup, I think is really strong. I actually think Diggs gets a little bit overlooked in a weird way because the Bills have had these horribly embarrassing national TV games where they just got blown out by the Titans and by the Chiefs over the last 2 weeks. But what do we know about Josh Allen? He's a flat track bully, dude. He just beats up on terrible teams. So he's just going to go out there and get his 5 touchdowns, get his MVP numbers back in line against the terrible New York Jets. So I'm way back in on Diggs. And I also think that our boy Robbie Anderson ends up being a little bit lower than he should be because the scent got shifted last week. I think Robbie only got 5 targets. DJ Moore had 11. I think that unfortunately I am team Robbie is the wide receiver 1 in Carolina still. And
Robbie this week is the Rorschach test for hand builders versus optimals, because Robbie's going to find his way into optimals
for sure. And then the last guy, DJ Shark, 14 targets last week, a 31% target share. The raw numbers don't look very good, but I expect him to be, I think, a super strong tournament play at 5,500. And then obviously everyone is going to tout Deontay Johnson this week. So I just want to get that one out there that I'm on him.
Really, Davis, you just on our other show we did, you said he was a dusty old veteran.
Well, he's already played 20 games. We're on to Claypool now, dude.
It is. That is a good point. Now, like, if everyone's healthy this week, you just don't know who's going to go off. It very well could be James Washington. Like, you don't know.
It won't be James Washington because he'll be riding the pine.
Well, he might not. That's what I'm saying.
Who's he playing over?
They're going to go with 4 wide receiver sets once Derrick Henry goes off.
Something they've never done in Ben Roethlisberger's entire time in Pittsburgh. Be interesting.
Deontay Johnson could also get hurt in the first quarter on the first drive, like he has done.
Well,
twice.
yeah, that's obviously, I think you need to chalk that up as something that we should expect. But
Tuttle,
yep.
Terry McLaurin's ownership under 10.
So high.
Oh, way over on DraftKings.
Okay.
He'll be over 20 on DraftKings.
This is like the Will Fuller play from last year, right? Where he just had sucked, and then he's still 30% owned and goes off for 35 points. Like, it's so gross, but he's going to do it. He's going to smash.
So is Nate going to fade him this year? Because me, Nate, and Sammy on the Gilcast, we faded the Fuller game in cash, and we faded the Kirk game in cash. So I don't know. I think for it to be the real deal, we got to fade him in cash.
He looks like such a good play to me, unless that ownership gets out of hand.
Yeah, he's too cheap. He's way too cheap. If you want to play him and try to get a low ownership, FanDuel is the place to do it.
On FanDuel, I'm going to run 150 71. Terry McLaurin train in the Swolecast free roll.
Kyle Allen and Terry McLaurin stacks, 150 of them.
Let's do it.
Man, there are just so many receivers out there that
Kitchen Bud, how did you not tout Kyle Allen at the start of the show?
AJ Brown.
I want to see Kitchen's show sheet. It's just a list of all Titans players. Like, got Ferkser. Oh, we didn't even tout AJ Brown. Gosh darn, this is a travesty.
I mean, you guys say, "Oh, you can't play AJ Brown. He's not going to score touchdowns every game on 2 targets." Well, he's been doing pretty good. You can't play Ryan Tannehill. He can't.
No, I'm going to play AJ Brown this week. I mean, he'll be under 10% ownership, right? At that price, people get worried about Pittsburgh.
All right.
AJ Brown is just the running back version of Derrick Henry, where it's like if you take away all the 50-yard touchdowns, he's like not that good of a play.
Okay, I think we covered pretty much everything. Pretty much everything on the wide receiver. So let's make a team on FanDuel.
Here, I'm gonna put something in stone. We mentioned the free roll. You can put 150 lineups in. The lineup we build on the Swolecast, I'm running it 150 train in the Swolecast free roll. Well, so make it good, guys.
The only way that's gonna work is because the free roll is like the top 5, and then like you're just assuming that if it wins, you're gonna get all 5.
He's gonna hoard those memberships.
The problem is I'm not even eligible because I have the counselor as my avatar and not the Swolecast.
Yeah. I think you should change it for this week. Be a team player.
I will. Once this train wins, I need all the glory.
Okay, it's like I had the FI avatar because I didn't even think about badge until I won the Millie. And then as soon as I won the Millie,
mine was too.
I was like, I gotta change it now that people know me as Millionaire Maker.
Sending that screenshot out with the FI avatar was not a great branding moment by myself.
I love how by your guys' logic that it was a missed branding opportunity that someone couldn't scroll down 300 times and see your name there. Time for first.
Peter is so salty that he's not a millionaire maker like us and Ricky D.
FanDuel.com.
Please do not equate what you did to what Ricky D did on Monday night.
Yeah, you're right. I at least took a stand in my entries.
Oh my God.
I wonder if like Ricky won $1 million. Like he should buy us something.
Oh, something they can't take from you.
Yes, it's the socialism. Like he owes us something for at least providing him the
spray
right
tan for kitchen.
Spray tan for
Ricky
kitchen.
D.
I think we should all get a Birkenstock or UGG slippers. I think give us all UGG slippers.
Look at these guys so thirsty for free stuff.
All right. FanDuel.com/Swolecast if you want to get in the listener league. Already over 100 entries into this bad boy.
I'm going to enter it right now so that I don't forget.
Yeah. Did anyone forget last week?
Nope. I was in there. I just scored like 79 points. So you would have to scroll pretty far to get to my team.
Tough scene. Okay. Peter, start with you.
Are we legally required to play Boston Scott on FanDuel? Oh, I did not realize.
Oh, man.
No.
Hey, guys, he's just filling in the old silver roll. He's just filling in. That's all he's doing.
If you're playing the Thursday through Monday,
guys, is Marshawn Lynch ruled out? Are you serious?
Why doesn't the Blitz have a filter for main slate?
It does. It does have a filter.
You're
if
right,
you use
you're right.
Lineup HQ, you fish.
All right, let me try this again. Watch this. Are we legally obligated to play Robbie Anderson on FanDuel? I'm going to play Robbie Anderson.
I don't think so. I don't think you're legally required.
All right. I was just looking at the
not like
points
Kitchen
per dollar play.
Peter, I'm
not
sorry.
Like Kitchen, who, by the way, like, how has the FBI not contacted you yet? Like, every Sunday you're out here tweeting about your best ball teams, dude.
Not last week.
I'm just okay. I must just be remembering the
I said
Claypool tweets.
No, a lot of people were asking about my Scott Fishbowl team now that I have Andy Dalton and Tua.
Who is asking about it?
Like people are like they just like see me on the Scott Fishbowl leaderboards. So they just like, hey, how did you know that? Because I picked up Andy Dalton. And now that the Prescott injury, because I hated that injury, it like made me physically ill. But I do want to just rewind to when I brought up Andy Dalton as an 20th round pick in best ball drafts with the Dallas Stacks.
Take him away. FBI knocking at your door. Take him away.
Literally, dude, you are the local sheriff in Nashville has got to be like they've surrounded the perimeter of your house.
All right, so Peter forfeited his pick.
I picked Robbie Anderson.
No, you didn't. I'm sorry. Okay. You have to wait. Davis, you go first.
Patrick Mahomes, McCole Hardman.
Oh my God.
No, why, Davis?
Dude, the Miko,
buddy, you don't get back to even if you stop playing the game.
There are a million receivers on FanDuel.
Hardman.
I didn't realize how bad it was for Hardman until I looked at the snap.
I literally can't speak on it. It was just a bad game, dude. It's fine.
I mean, he ran.
They ran the ball. They ran the ball 46 times. Like
he's not even minimum salary.
He still only ran a third of the routes the team on passing plays. Like, I don't care how many times you run the ball. If you're not out there running routes, when
he's
the team's
game
passing.
Script specific, okay?
No. You hope for dear God he gets an end around at the 5-yard line so he scores a touchdown. That's all I was hoping for.
Well, we played Christian Kirk and the last lineup, and it's basically the same thing for him too.
McCole Hardman is going to be, once Sammy Watkins is injured, McCole Hardman's usage is going to skyrocket.
This is really this something.
Show. Man, this might actually be like rock bottom for us. I've never seen, there's so much toxicity in the chat this week too.
It's pretty bad.
You might have to mute the chat and just.
But seriously though, we literally have done 57 minutes of the show or whatever, and we haven't mentioned MVP Patrick Mahomes. Like, probably pretty good to play that guy at like 2% owned.
You had us in the first half, Davis. You had us in the first half of the Mahomes Mecole Hardman play.
Can we play? Because I do want to say that like Tyreek is an interesting play this week.
I like it.
Tyreek is the woat, dude. He literally never gets 100 yards, and he just it's like he scores one touchdown. He's just it's so like terrible.
Let's go Mahomes and Tyreek.
I'm down.
We're gonna stack him. Let's at least do it with Kelsey, who gets all the points and the touchdowns.
No, because I want to play Hawkinson at tight end.
Okay.
You want to play Jesse James as backup on FanDuel?
Yeah, isn't he splitting snaps with
I don't care. I don't care when
he had 3
consecutive
red zone targets last week.
Yeah. He shows up when it matters.
I mean, I get it, but you also have Anthony Ferguson, who's 5K, so all right, 5,900.
I can't believe we let Kitchen come on this show and mention Ferguson multiple times, but we jump on my case for Hardman.
Well, Ferguson actually did something last week.
That's so rude, Peter.
Well, Ferguson, once Jonnu Smith went down, it's Ferguson's team. Once Sammy Watkins went down, it's still not Hardman's team. Anyways. All right, so we have Mahomes, Tyreek, Hawkinson, and who we're going to pair with Kansas City. Yeah. Tim Patrick?
Tim Patrick, double 2 straight 100-yard games.
He's Cortland Sutton now.
Literally, though.
All right. We'll go Tim Patrick.
So we have Hardman and Patrick?
No. We have Tyreek, Patrick Mahomes.
Davis,
Tim
I can't
Patrick.
run a train of 150 lineups with Mecole Hardman in it.
But we can play.
And Hawkinson.
I'm frustrated.
Right. Okay, Peter, are you?
Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, we already. already have
No,
him.
Kitchen made me veto that pick, so this time it comes around.
No, I have him in mind.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
have him in mind.
Thank you.
You have another pick.
Really? What about Travis Fulgham?
Oh my
That-
gosh.
From that Thursday night
I'm
game.
kidding. I'm kidding. Relax. How about we play? Let's play Mike Davis.
It's too
Play
much
the
of a
best plays.
GPP play. This is the cash lineup.
No, this is a train lineup.
All right, Davis.
So we go Zeke then.
Ew.
Oh, never mind. We don't have enough salary
He's
for that.
9,500 this week.
Very rarely are you going to have a chance to play a guy who can get 3 touchdowns on FanDuel at like not absurd levels of ownership, but the hand builders are not going to want to play Zeke this week. But anyway, I'll just go Kareem Hunt, whatever. We'll eat the chalk.
You gave the case for a play that you immediately pivoted off of.
No, I'm just not going to argue with Kitchen. It's not worth it. I know he's just going to stack.
No,
for
Davis
sure.
already
We can't
said
fit him
that he
in.
was too expensive. He's almost 10K. The guy that's going to be splitting carries with Tony Pollard this week is almost 10K. Like one fumble from Zeke first half. It's Tony Pollard show. All right. So if you go cheap defense, then you're left with like a 66 to 7K guy. And yeah, you can go lots different. You can go Shark, you can go James Robinson. You could even go up to AJ Brown, Fuller. Okay. Whatever you want to do there. I'm not gonna hand feed everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we can only do so much. You know, we're trying to actually teach you guys how to fish on this show, not
Yeah.
give you fish.
Yeah. Not make you fish. You're welcome for that. All right. Tight end this week. Let's start with
It's so bad, dude.
on FanDuel, it's easy, right? It's Kelsey.
I haven't built a FanDuel team yet.
Okay. Well, must not be
Honestly,
one in
he's
there.
kind
I
of
don't
cheap
know
on
if it-
DraftKings too.
Well, you're gonna have to save somewhere on DK. But what are you doing with tight end this week, Tuttle?
I don't know if it's Kelsey. I mean, he's obviously going to rate as the top raw projected option this week. But there are some cheap options. Mentioned Hawkinson. Hunter Henry is a really good play. 4,500 on DraftKings, possibly, if I have that right. 5,800 on FanDuel. Tanya in bounce back spot. I'm okay with that as well. I'd probably not playing him in cash. I'm not playing him in cash, but I could see him as a tournament option. And then we already mentioned Austin Hooper is a pretty strong play. He's 4K on DraftKings. I think he's even cheaper than, he's 5,400 on FanDuel. So I'm actually kind of fine with like this 5K range on FanDuel. As crazy as that sounds.
Tight end has been the worst this year, trying to figure out some of these cheap tight ends. And then the 1 week I don't play Logan Thomas.
He finally
Yes.
scores. I know, so tilting.
That was a sick catch too in the back of the
Yeah.
red zone.
And it gets into the end zone. So-
If Noah Fant plays, I'm still playing Alberto in like the red zone on DraftKings. I'm gonna play him in at least one of my single entry teams.
Dude, send me a head-to-head with Mecole Hardman and Alberto in it. Dude, it's a mini correlation.
I get
It
down
is a
with-
mini correlation.
there's your
Oh my
stack
gosh,
right there.
dude. You justified it for me, bud. Mahomes, Hardman, Kelsey, Alberto, double tight end with the punt. Ship me the money.
Operative word being punt there.
Oh man. We have I can get down with Hunter Henry for sure.
Yeah, he's a good play.
And probably Hooper too against Cincinnati. But other than that, it's just it's tough. It's tough. I will say, isn't on DraftKings Dalton Schultz under 4K?
Who cares,
Dalton
man?
Schultz is
He's-
3,900.
The fifth option in Andy Dalton's offense probably doesn't need to be a talking point of the tight end section.
Says the guy who has mentioned Albert O's name.
Dude, he was
multiple
college roommates with
times.
Drew Lock. Kitchen, I know that gets to your core. Like, I know it's so hard for you to refute that stuff.
No. After
I know you go for that, bro.
After Beathard and Kittle didn't connect it, I had
They did though.
This past, I think whenever I forget. No, there was a shout.
The game that Jimmy missed, Kittle had 15 catches.
No, there was another narrative.
There was another.
Who was the other shower narrative?
Mason Rudolph and James.
No. It was Patrick Mahomes and DeAndre Washington. Washington didn't even make the team. There goes 15% of my best ball draft.
What about the greatest shower narrative of all time? Darrell Williams mentoring Clyde Edwards-Helaire at LSU for that 1 year they overlapped.
Yeah. Paid off last week. Darrell Williams, big touchdown run on 4th and 1. You love to see it. Go Chiefs.
Okay. Any other tight end?
You're freezing, Kitchen.
We didn't mention Kittle. What about now?
Kittle's. I mean, he seems like a good play to me. I mean, he's a good player.
That's that's what you got.
I don't pay up for tight ends. Not in this economy.
After last week, Kittle will be under owned for sure.
How unique is the Mahomes Kelsey construction going to be on DraftKings? Like, I seriously feel like it's going to be like 1% of rosters or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can get it down to 0% of rosters if you bring it back with Alberto.
I'll be the only one.
Davis.
Okay, wait. JJ Zacharyson just reminded me of something that I've been wanting to bring up on this show for weeks. And now that we're talking about Alberto for the 19th time on the show.
Gronkowski's good?
No. Guys, look at a picture of Lane Kiffin and then look at David Kitchen and just be like, holy shit, that's Lane Kiffin after better like than 19 loaves of bread.
It's better than fat Sam Darnold, which I got.
Hey, hi guys.
QB means.
I got breaking news. I just received an email from DraftKings.
Yeah.
We are hi revert Z top. We are writing to inform you that we have added the following player to the player pool for the NFL Thursday through Monday main, Sunday through Monday afternoon only, and afternoon turbo contests. Le'Veon Bell, 4,400. If you have any questions, please reach out to support@DraftKings.com.
Yeah.
I thought that was important news that our viewers would want to know.
Smiz is on his Twitch stream right now, just like ready to fire up Le'Veon Bell.
All right. We got to give our qualifiers. Davis, yours feels pretty easy this week.
Yeah. Whoever plays McCole Hardman, highest scoring McCole Hardman team.
All right. McCole.
I have one.
Tuttle.
Give it to Peter first.
No, okay. Give it to Tuttle. No, Kitchen, let's hear yours.
Yeah, I'm eager to hear Kitchen's.
Yeah, I mean, I could obviously go with the Titans, but I'm not.
Okay, I got mine.
Okay.
Kyle Allen, Terry McLaurin, stacks.
Okay. Kyle Allen, and then F1. All right, Peter.
I want to see some JaMychal Hasty lineups this week. I want to see some tasty and hasty lineups.
This is so gross. All right, mine's going to be a guy that I've liked this entire season. Guy's name's Anthony Ferkser. He's a guy that you should have been playing, but if not, he's gonna be ready for you. So, Ferkser in cash, do it.
Don't check the news about Jonnu on Sunday. Just have the faith, lock it in.
Yeah, Ferkser or Albert O for Davis. How about that? I'll give you some outs. So
I don't want outs.
No, I'm giving the people that are playing this game.
Sir, have you met me? I don't want outs.
All right. That will do it. Tuttle, do you have a terrible take?
Not really.
Okay, cool. Peter?
I just want to say, Dave, this is a great show. I know there's a lot of toxicity out there in the chat. You know, people mad at Davis, people mad at me, mad at Tuttle, mad at Kitchen. Thank you guys all for coming out. Smash the subscribe button, hop in the free roll. It's going to be a great time. Baka, baka.
Who was mad at me in the chat? I didn't pull it up. It's too
Everyone's
toxic.
mad at you.
Everyone's always
Good.
mad at you, Davis.
Yeah. Davis, closing thoughts?
I don't know. I hope McCole Hardman scores a touchdown this week so I can dunk on the haters.
I don't know if you could dunk, and it's not because of how tall you are. It's because of how
many
buried.
fantasy points for McCole Hardman before I can dunk?
You need to win the Millie with Mecole Hardman, and then you can dunk back on Ricky D.
Yeah.
No, because he was he fake touted. He acted like he excluded him, and he did not.
Ricky, don't listen to Davis. If you want to ship me those new UGG slippers, please do so.
Pete, would you say that's maybe disingenuous touting?
I'm not going to say anything bad about our biggest fan who just won
our millionaire benefactor.
All right. Special thanks to everyone that has been tuning in, and also just want to say that the feedback that we get each and every week about this just brightening people's lives. Your show is so good. It's so funny. It makes me laugh. All that stuff. It just it's heartwarming. And then whenever we give the plays, like Derrick Henry, that sort of thing, it's even better. So, anyways, appreciate you guys. And make sure you go check the notes for our free roll for the free swag and free RG promos for our Swolecast badge and the Listener League, which is probably the best DFS contest running right now. So that will do it. On behalf of Tuttle, Davis, and Peter, I'm Socrdave. We'll see you next week. Going fishing.